Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing pretty well. Today's actually Saturday, June 7th, and we're going to play around with two new products that were sent to me. So DJ, I appreciate you sending these two products out to me. These are from Armour Detail Supply, and I'm actually wearing my ADS shirt, so subliminal messages to go out and purchase everything. So again, yeah, we're going to take a look at the two new products here. Launch date for these is June 13th, so I'm going to try to get this video ready so that it'll be ready for a launch day, and that way you guys can go and just check that out. If not, I will just release it. So I think that's a Friday. So Saturday, Sunday. So we'll just do the typical. I'll just upload it on Tuesday. Just wait a few days, and we'll get that up there. So I think what I'm going to do with this video is right now I'm going to focus on the all-purpose cleaner, and then tomorrow, because I just washed the car, so it won't get super dirty overnight, I'm going to just go ahead and use the trim coating just to show you how the trim coating applies. So I'm going to just encompass both products into one video just to kind of show how they perform. So again, we've got the two new products here. We have Clean Citrus Cleaner Concentrate. So this is their new all-purpose cleaner here. So we're going to take a look at this one first. And then they sent me their trim coating, Trim Plus Premium Trim Coating. So it comes in the bag. So let's just open the bag here and see what's in here. So we're going to just tear the bag here. You're going to pop open the bag. It's a Ziploc bag. So in the bag, you're going to get an applicator, which I'm going to put back in here. And you get the bottle of trim coating. So this is actually 50 ml bottle. I'll have to get on the prices and everything, so we'll go ahead and showcase this tomorrow. This is a dye. It has a dye in there. Think of this as like the DIY Detail Protect, Restore and Protect coating. Who else has a coating like that? I think Fine Lab has a trim coating, which I'm getting, by the way. And so for this, it's just going to show you the application on the trim pieces on the Equinox here. And we'll talk about that when we get to the application. But again, the bottle, apparently, I think it's supposed to be clear, but the dye in there just dyes the bottle. So again, you're going to get 50 milliliters of product in here. And you get all the application instructions here, which we will take a look at when we get a chance to apply the coating. So we'll prep all that. I'll do that tomorrow because I got some stuff to do this afternoon. So I'm just going to go ahead and show the APC at the moment, and we'll go from there. So let me take a look. So let's start with the APC here. So the APC here, again, that has a very tiny print on here. That's the only drawback to the labels. The labels look great. If you really look at the labels look great. But the print on here is so small. So if you're a little older and you can't see close, you're gonna get your readers and kind of just read the print here. If you're young, you have good eyes, not a problem, but it's pretty small print. So it says, introducing Clean All-Purpose Cleaner, a citrus-powered solution built to handle the toughest grime without compromising safety, powered by natural orange oil and a carefully balanced non-caustic formula. Clean is safe for use on both interior and exterior vehicle surfaces, perfect for everything from plastic and leather to wheel wells and engine bays. So again, interior, exterior use, and again, they've stated that it's safe to use on everything. Thickening agents in Clean create a rich lather through trigger sprayers, foamers, and foam cannons, providing optimal cling, extended working time, and more effective cleaning. The formula rinses freely without leaving residue and includes corrosion inhibitors to prevent damage to surfaces. That's pretty cool. Formulated with biodegradable surfactants and free from harsh chemicals like caustic soda. Again, it's always a plus to have less harmful chemicals in there, again, for the user and of course the environment. Clean is a professional grade cleaner that's tough on grime but gentle on your surfaces and your lungs. Finished with a crisp, natural orange scent, it is pleasant to use and is effective. Clean is your go-to for powerful results, safe ingredients, and a better detailing experience. So when you pop this open, it does have a nice citrus orange scent to it, so that's pretty nice. Here's the dilutions for this. So for heavy-duty cleaning, they state 4:1, and for heavy-duty, they're saying engine bays, pre-wash, bug remover, wheels and tires, wheel wells, exhaust tips, heavily soiled mats. So again, it's pretty. You can use it pretty much for anything that you need heavy cleaning for. Medium cleaning is 10:1. Soiled interior surfaces, door jambs, heavily soiled plastics and fabrics, spot stain removals, heavily soiled leather. Okay, at 20 to 1, it's light duty cleaning and maintenance, interior and leather cleaning, smoke film on glass, cleaning, detailing equipment and tools. So again, if your tools are dirty, you can use it to clean that. Pretty interesting that you can use it on smoke film on glass. Typically, all-purpose cleaners and glass don't play well. I don't know if it's safe on tint. Maybe that's something that DJ can chime in if it's safe on tint. If I find that out, I'll put the comment on the screen here if it is. Those are dilutions for this. So what I ended up doing is I mixed the bottle up here at 10 to 1. So I appreciate Franco. Franco sent me a bunch of plastic bottles like this from US Plastic. And this one, the lowest it goes is 10 to 1. That's the only reason I made it 10 to 1, or else I would have tried the light duty cleaner. But again, I just did 10 to 1 just to kind of have that on the side there, just to kind of see how it performs. And then the next thing I did is I mixed it at 4 to 1. I just made a small batch here, like a 16-ounce batch, and I just put some in the pump sprayer here, and I mix it at 4 to 1 here, just to kind of see how this sprays out. And then the other thing I did is, so I have some ADS tire cleaner. Now this stuff is pretty potent stuff. If you're going to use this straight, just be careful because it will eat through some of your bottles, and eventually, and it will eat through its own bottle as well. So you know, when you order the tire cleaner from Armour Detail Supply, it comes already diluted at 2 to 1. And so I ended up just having, because I had a spare bottle of wheel cleaner, I ended up just putting 2 to 1 mixture in here to clean tires. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out the cleaning performance of their APC to see how well it cleans. And I may swap triggers in here. I don't know yet, but we're going to take the pump sprayer here and play around with some of this stuff. So let me go ahead and just kind of move some stuff here as I take all my stuff over there, so we can clean the tires with it. So I'm going to take all my stuff. I got bottles galore in here. Okay, so let me take the pump sprayer with me as well, and we'll talk about this. Actually, we'll just showcase this in using it. We'll see how it foams. We'll see how it does on its own. Pop that there. I'm just putting some stuff on my cart so I know what is here. And we're going to clean the wheels and tires on the Equinox. Actually, what I should have done is gotten rid of some of these foam cannons in here. I think I can make this work. Okay, so what I want to be doing here is get some of this stuff out of the way. I should have left these on the shelf. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this. So I'm going to be using it to clean the tires here. So I will mention that this did have Hydra on it, and for some reason, I don't know if maybe they started to show some browning on the tires here, but I forget what I used to clean the wheels and tires, or the tires when I prepped it for Hydra. So I don't think it's Hydra. I think it's just whatever I used was not strong enough to remove that. So let me get this set up for you guys. And so the wheel is not that dirty either. I should have pumped this up before I started. It's not that dirty either, because I had just washed the car Monday and today's Saturday. And I have the medium tip or filter still in here. We'll see how it does. I should have pumped this sooner. Okay. It's almost there. It's almost there. I can feel it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just foam this on here. Check that. That's some pretty darn good foam. Look at that. That goes on thick. I'm running out of air. That's good foam, look at that. I'm trying to find my brush here, but you can actually see it. Actually, you can see the tires browning on there. I'm gonna put a little bit on my brush. You can see it's browning on there, so it's doing a good job breaking down the dirt and grime that are on this tire here. And again, just agitate it. And you can see how good that is cleaning. That thing's staying pretty wet too. I'm continuing to scrub it because I want to see if it starts drying out on me, but yeah, it's doing a heck of a job to stay wet that long. So you can see it did brown up pretty well on there. Grab my pressure washer gun here. And we'll take a look and see how this is doing here. Let me just rinse my... So that is pretty darn good to do that. Let's go ahead and rinse this off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it again and we'll see how well it cleaned the tires here, but I did a good job. I had some caked on like caliper or brake testing here on the caliper. That's kind of off. It didn't damage my coating on the wheels. You can see they're still beating very well. So let me just go ahead and spray this on there as well. So the reason I'm spraying this again, that's pretty darn good foam, is I want to see if it's still browning, and it doesn't look like it's browning anymore. So I think we got all that browning on there. Yeah. I mean, I did scrub the heck out of it. So let that sit on there, and we'll, still a little bit of browning in there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash the surface. I actually have some soap in my bucket. Okay, so I do have soap in my bucket, and I'm going to wash my wheels here, just for some added lubrication in here. Now, could you be safe just using the APC as your wash? Probably. Actually, it does have some really good lubrication on my fingers. I should be wearing gloves, to be honest, but I forgot to put some on. And recently I've been, for the last few months, I've been using my DIY Legacy sponge. I downgraded this version 1 for wheels and tires. Worked great for that. It's just really soft. I want to try it with soap. I haven't never used it with soap. I don't know if I like it with soap, but let me see. It's okay. But primarily this is my rinseless wash sponge from now on. So Franco just did a great video on making a sponge for wheels. I was teasing them. I was like, man, I thought you were making a sandwich cutting that blue Detail Co. Sponge, but yeah. Just rinse this off. Pretty good. I don't know if I'm getting some. I think I have some contamination on that part of the wheel right here. I haven't used an iron remover on these since I coated them. So they could probably use a little bit of something. It looks like they're starting to get a little something here. But yeah, overall that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this off while we're here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Ego blower. So bear with me as this thing's kind of loud. So that's all there is to it. And so what I'm going to just do right here is I'm going to just to kind of finish up these wheels and tires here. You can see I did a pretty good job. There's still a little bit of browning in there, but like I don't think that cleaner is very strong. I bet you if I hit this with their tire cleaner, it would come off. And you can see it's pretty, whatever that is. So I'm just using some Carpro Echo, which is again my go-to drying aid. People always get weird. It's like, hey, you're not using the drying aid properly. You need to have a bunch of water on the surface. That's not necessarily true. The purpose of the drying aid is there to help you for added lubrication for any remaining water that's on the surface. And in this instance, I had a little bit of standing water still left on there. And so that's what I did. And then I'll just flip it. Actually, I'm going to use a secondary towel, a low nap towel. Just to kind of clean this up. But again, I just wanted to try that APC to see how it did. And I think it did pretty good. I don't know what that is. I think that's looks like a bird bomb etching on there. Yeah, I think that's I think right there looks like something is on there. Okay, so you can actually see that the tire is pretty darn clean on there. Here it could have used a little bit more cleaning power on here. I'm going to force dry this so you guys can actually see it. But again, Michelin tires are some of the tires that tend to kind of be a little finicky when it comes to certain products. But yeah, that's what it looks like. So I think Clean did a real good job getting them clean here. to use a tire dressing. Actually, that's real good. Yeah, it looks real good. They're not dirty. I rub my hand on there. See, my hands are clean. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dress these. Let's go ahead and take one last look here at what Clean did. So that is Clean by ADS. Again, you can mix this up in whatever dilution you want. So I think tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these up with that with the mixture that I have in here that I made for 10-to-1. So I'll just come back tomorrow, clean it with 10-to-1 on that little trim piece here. And then I'll panel wipe it and I'll put the trim coating on here. But again, as far as the APC goes, yeah, that looks real good. And at this point, it's ready to be dressed. And let me get some of this excess water out of here so I don't get water spots. But yeah, at this point, it's ready to be dressed. I'm going to top this off with some Tire Plus. Maybe I should show you guys Tire Plus while we go and get it in the garage. I didn't have it, I should have brought it with me. And if you guys haven't used Tire Plus, it's pretty good. So it's a real nice tire dressing here. So we'll go ahead and use that. So I grabbed that with an applicator. And let's go ahead and give this a try. Get this pressure washer gun out of the way. And let me rotate you back. Grab the bottle out of the way. Okay, so I'm just going to shake this. And this is the auto fiber applicator with the little saver thing on there. So I'm just going to load this up. And I'll just go ahead and I put too much on there, way too much. I'm just trying to thin it out a little bit because I put way too much. I overloaded this applicator. So this applicator is not bad. I've used it a couple times. I don't know if I'm entirely sold on it as like being like my favorite applicator. And the reason for that is, number one, I can't get down here, so I have to move the car. Normally I like to use those other orange Tough Shine applicators, and then there's no part, because again the foam fits really good in here, is I always get a little bit of product on the face of these wheels. Again, there's no extra lip on them, so I tend to usually come back with a towel and get the excess on there. But what I like about Tire Plus, again, if you haven't used this Tire Plus, it's really good. I actually like this even better than Ghost, is it will self-level. So right now it looks really glossy, but it'll self-level, self-dry, and it'll give you that semi matte appearance to it, like a brand new tire. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick look at Tire Plus. So again, right now it looks really glossy, but once it starts to dry, it will matte itself out. And I'm gonna just kind of squeeze this into the edges here. And I'm pushing pretty heavy because I want this to look a little better in those particular areas. That looks way better. So there you have it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go back in the garage because it's a little too noisy out here and it's too bright out here, and we'll talk about Clean APC. So I think I'm just going to have a dedicated video on this by itself. Again, very nice product from Armour Detail Supply. Again, they came out with another great product. They took their time to get this. 'Cause I remember DJ hit me up, ooh, maybe this was a year and a half ago or so, and he told me that they were working on, or he was working on, one of them was working on this APC at the time, which they didn't have a name for it. He just had like a generic bottle for it, and he was telling me that this was going to be one of their products that they're going to put a lot of effort into it to get this right and to make this just be a great product to do what it's designed to do, which is clean and be very effective at that. Again, very good dilutions, 4-to-1 for heavy, 10-to-1 for medium, 20-to-1 for light. Again, that makes it very cost effective, especially when you buy the gallon. If you're going to be using it at those dilutions, you have plenty to go. Again, because this is a 16-ounce bottle, if you're going to be using it at 4-to-1 and you're making a big bottle of like your pump sprayer or not, then you're probably going to use all this. Then it's probably not cost effective, since you're probably going to want to go with a gallon on here. But this is great if you're going to be using it in like spray bottles, this version here, because you can just make any dilution on there, and then you can make small dilutions like I did for the pump sprayer, because that amount that I have in the pump sprayer is plenty to do all 4 wheels, especially if I'm going to transfer that over to my one of my other foam cannons. I'm just going to use it to foam up the wheels and tires, because it makes it a little bit more it doesn't use as much product as one of those pump sprayers on there. At least that's what I noticed from the Merrillix versus a foam cannon. So again, real nice product from ADS. I think it's a great product to have. You saw how well it foams at 4-to-1. I'll have to play around with the other dilutions to kind of see how it works too, how good it foams at 10-to-1, and then how good it foams at 20-to-1. Probably not as good as 4-to-1, because again, you have more concentrate in there. But again, real nice product, real nice APC. So if you're in the market for an all-purpose cleaner and you're thinking, well, which one should I get? I think you want to add this to the list of products and maybe put it towards the top. I think it's really good. It's right up there with some of the best APCs on the market. You have like your DIY Detail All Clean. What's the other one that I like from? I like the Phoenix EOD one. What is it, Kraken? That one's pretty good as well. I'm trying to remember which other APCs I have. I've used Meguiar's, was it D103? They don't even make that anymore. Mine one actually went bad because it didn't have the cleaning power that it used to have, because I still had a little bit left. Actually, I had a brand new, actually I just had a little bit left in that gallon, so I ended up just chucking the rest away because it was pretty old and it had lost its potency to clean. But that one was really good. It was one of my favorite ones for a very long time. But I could definitely see having a gallon of this on my shelf and just using this. Very cost effective. Actually, I'll probably end up buying a gallon once I kind of use up this 16-ounce bottle, just so I can have an APC. Another good APC that I forgot to mention is the one from Ethos. Ethos has a real nice APC. So again, it's a toss-up for me between, because I really like that Ethos one. I think it does a fantastic job. And this one, those would be like the top two. Then I'd probably put Phoenix EOD and All Clean like right after, right behind those. But these two are at the top of my list. Even just using this once, I can already tell it's going to be really good. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Put your comments down below. I didn't intend to make a 30-minute video on this all-purpose cleaner, but that's the way it turned out. So I'm going to separate the videos. We'll focus on clean for this one, and then the next one will be focused on the trim coating, and we'll just kind of line those up to launch here shortly. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Put your comments down below. Let me know if you're interested in trying this out. You can see that it foamed really good and it cleaned the tire really good. Here's the thing, when it comes to tire cleaners, I'm going to mention this just kind of based on my experience with this detailing stuff for over the last few years. Most of the time you don't need a dedicated tire cleaner. And you're probably going, what do you mean? And the reason I'm saying that is, if you're going to be keeping the same tire dressing for, like for example, I'm going to be using Tire Plus on these tires probably for the next month or until I get bored. And what I tended to do is that after I do the initial application like I just did, I will just wash them with soap and water or rinseless wash, and then I'll just top them off on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And then when I'm bored, or if I want to switch to, maybe I want to test another tire product, then I'll probably, even though this APC did a fantastic job, I'll probably just use this. I'm rarely needing a dedicated tire cleaner. Most of the time I can just buy with just an all-purpose cleaner, like this one, for example, mixed up at 4-to-1. It's pretty potent. I could probably do a real good job at 10-to-1. But you saw that it did such a good job that I didn't have to use the dedicated Armour Detail Supply tire cleaner, again, which is a great tire cleaner. I just, personally, for personal vehicles, I just don't have need now. If you're doing vehicles for a customer, you're probably going to need a dedicated tire cleaner, because that tire cleaner that from ADS is super potent and it'll clean the heck out of a real dirty tire. But for like personal use and you maintain your vehicle and your tires, APC is all you need. And this is one to have on your shelf that will do the job for you to clean your vehicle or your tires, to prep them and keep them going. Because now I can dilute this at 1 to 20 or maybe even 1 to 10, just to kind of do not a super deep clean, but just a maintenance clean. Probably use 1 to 20, hit it, scrub it a little bit, and then retop it on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, just depending on how often you wash your car. So that's just kind of my thoughts on this. For your personal vehicles, again, you're probably gonna need a dedicated tire cleaner. If you're using it for a business and you do customers' vehicles, for sure you're gonna need that. So that's all I have for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everyone, and post your comments down below, and we'll take a look at the trim coating coming up next. For me, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I got some stuff I want to do for the rest of the afternoon. So again, thanks for you guys. Catch you next one. Take care, everyone, and see you on the next one.